Hello students, welcome to the physics class. Myself Srimati Deepa Deshnur, and today we are starting the chapter Ray Optics and Optical Instruments. This is the first video on this topic. Now we shall see what is optics. What is optics? Optics is the study of properties of light and interaction of light with matter. What all the properties are shown by the light and how it interacts with matter. So collectively the study of all these things is called as optics. What is light? Light is a part of electromagnetic spectrum which helps us to see various objects. This light travels with an enormous speed. The presently accepted value of speed is 2.99 into 10 to the power 8 it is, but for calculation purpose approximately we take it as 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second. Now this optics can be categorized into three types, three branches: ray optics, wave optics and quantum optics. Ray optics means here the wavelength of light is very much smaller compared to the size of the object. The wavelength of the light is very much smaller when you compare with the size of the object. Then the light is almost taken as a straight line. Light is taken as considered to be travels in a straight line. So that branch is called as ray optics. When the wavelength of light is comparable, with the size of the object, then it shows a different behavior, a wave-like behavior. So the study of that branch of physics is called as wave optics or physical optics. The third one is quantum optics. So Einstein proposed that light shows the particle nature. Light shows a particle nature due to which photoelectric effect occurs. It behaves as a particle. Then what is the energy of the particle? So Einstein says it behaves as a particle. So if it is behaving as a particle, what is the energy of that particle? So such all study comes under quantum physics. So where part of interest is the ray optics. So before going to the derivations and main points, let us see some important concepts. So as we have discussed here in the first point, when the wavelength of the light is very much smaller compared to the size of the object, then light seems to be travels in a straight line. So light travels along a straight line when it reaches from point A to B. When it travels from point A to B, it travels along a straight line. So it is known as rectilinear propagation. Traveling along a straight line is known as rectilinear propagation. So to reach from point A to point B, the light follows some path. So the path followed by the light is called as ray of light, and a bundle of such rays of light collectively is called as beam of light. So you might have seen the different colored light. Now what causes the difference in the color of light? It is the frequency. The color of light depends on its frequency. Now, when the light is having a single frequency or single wavelength, then it is called as monochromatic light. If in a light, if it is having several frequencies, it is a combination of, if the light is combination of several frequencies, then it is called as composite light. So example for composite light is the sun, the light that we receive from the sun it is having all the frequencies. So when a light is traveling, a medium through which light can travel is called an optical medium. So when a light is traveling, if it encounters any medium, if it encounters any other medium, if the light can pierce into that medium and continue its journey, then such a medium is called as optical medium. The examples are glass. The light can travel through the glass, through the air, through the water. So glass, air, water, such things are called as optical medium. Now, when it enters, if this is the optical medium, when the light enters into the optical medium, then in any direction let the light travel. If its speed remains the same in all the direction, then it is called as isotropic medium. So here is the spelling correction. It is a isotropic medium. So if light travels in this direction, here, wherever it travels, it maintains the same speed. Then such a medium is called as isotropic medium. So in a medium, if light is having different speeds in different directions, if the speed of light is different in different directions, suppose while traveling in this direction, if the speed of light is different along this direction, in all the directions, if light is traveling with different speeds, then such a medium is called as anisotropic medium. Now we'll see what all are the phenomena that light is showing. The first one is reflection. So in a common way, you can understand the reflection as that is coming back. Reflection means that comes back. So example you can take is when you hit a ball to a wall, it comes back in the same way. So light also comes back in the same medium when it hits any surface. In the same manner, if there is any surface, when the light hits any surface, it comes back into the same medium. Instead of piercing into the other medium, it comes back into the same medium. So this process is called as reflection of light. So the phenomenon of a returning of light in the same medium when it falls on any surface is known as a reflection of light. So here in this diagram you can see, the light falls on the surface. The light is falling on the surface, plane surface. If it is reflecting, anything that reflects, any surface that reflects can be called as a mirror. Any surface that is reflecting can be called as mirror. So this light you can see which is falling on the surface. When this hits the surface, it is returning back in the same medium. Returning back in the same medium. So the light which is falling on the surface is called as incident ray. The light which is falling on the surface is called as incident ray. After hitting the surface, the light which is returning, is called as reflected ray. Now look at these two rays. They are meeting at point P, or you can say the incident ray is meeting the surface at point P. So that point P is called as point of incidence. That point P is called as point of incidence. So at this point, we can draw a line perpendicular to the surface. We can draw a line perpendicular to the surface, which is known as normal to the surface. See, like this, the surface is there. To that, we can draw a perpendicular. Where we have to draw that perpendicular? At the point of incidence. Now, this is known as normal to the surface. Now, we can measure the angles. So we can measure the angle between incident ray and the normal to the surface. We can measure the angle between reflected ray and normal to the surface. So this is denoted as I, it is denoted as R. So the angle between incident ray, the angle between incident ray and normal to the surface is called as angle of incidence, denoted by a letter I. The angle between reflected ray and normal to the surface, is called as angle of reflection, which is denoted by a letter R. So there are two laws of reflection. First one is angle of incidence. Angle of incidence is equal to the angle of reflection. That is, angle of incidence is equal to angle of reflection. I is equal to R. So if it is 30 degree, then this also will be 30 degree. With the same angle, they incident and reflect. The second law of reflection is incident ray, reflected ray and normal to the surface at a point of incidence. Lie in the same plane. ಮೂರು ಕೂಡ ಒಂದೇ ಸಮತಲದಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ತವೆ. So if you construct a wall over here, so all will lie in the same plane. The incident ray, normal to the surface, and reflected ray all lie in the same plane. So this is the second law. These two laws of reflection, are valid on any reflecting surface, whether plane or curved. So here we have considered the plane reflecting surface, but these laws are valid for plane surface or curved reflecting surfaces. Now the question comes, what are the curved reflecting surfaces? To understand that, before going to the curved reflecting surfaces, we'll see some terms related to spherical surfaces. How these spherical reflecting surfaces are formed. To know that, let us consider a hollow sphere. A cricket ball or a football, which is spherical in surface and hollow. Assume that it is made up of a glass. Then what you have to do? Cut that sphere by side. And take that cut portion. Take that small cut portion from the sphere out. Take that portion out from the sphere. Then you are going to get the structure like this. A spherical surface. Why we call this as a spherical surface? As it is a part of a sphere. So here is an example. A hollow sphere. When it is cut by side, you are going to get a spherical surface. If it is made up of glass, the spherical surface will be of glass. If the sphere is made up of glass, spherical surface will be of glass. The example is the watch glass. These watch glasses are of different sizes, means these all are the parts of different spheres, different sized spheres. The first one, second watch glass, third watch glass. So different watch glasses are there. They all are part of a different sized spheres. So this is called as the spherical surface. This is called as the spherical surface. Now, what all are the terms related to the spherical surface? Now, as watch glass is a transparent, the light passes through it. It will not reflect. When you paint one of the side of a watch glass, then it starts reflecting. Let us assume the outer surface of the watch glass is painted, then it starts reflecting. Now it becomes mirror. Now it becomes, as it is a reflecting, it becomes mirror. As it is a part of a sphere, it becomes spherical mirror. Now in the spherical mirror, we'll see some terms. The first one is aperture. Aperture is area of the mirror available for interaction of light or available for reflection. So here we can see the watch glass outer surface I am drawing. So the area of the mirror, the whole area of the mirror available for the reflection of light is called as aperture. This whole area is called as aperture. Then pole. The midpoint or geometrical center of the mirror is called pole. So if you take this point, it will be the midpoint or geometrical center. Or in this watch glass, if you take, so here is the center point. Here is the center point of the mirror. So that center point is called as pole of the mirror. Center of curvature. The center of the sphere. The center of a sphere of which the spherical mirror is a part. So center of a sphere. ಈ ಸ್ಪೆರಿಕಲ್ ಸರ್ಫೇಸನ್ನು ಹಿಂಗೆ ಕಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ತೆಕ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಮುಂಚೆ ಈ ಸ್ಪಿಯರ್ದ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿತ್ತದು. ಸೊ ದ ಸ್ಪೆರಿಕಲ್ surface is the part of this sphere. So the center of that sphere, whose part is our spherical mirror. So that point is called as a center of curvature. So from this spherical surface, our center of curvature is away. ಇಷ್ಟು ದೂರದೊಳಗದ. ಅದರ ಅರ್ಥ ನಾವೇನಾರ ಈ ಸ್ಪೆರಿಕಲ್ ಸರ್ಫೇಸನ್ನು ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಇಫ್ ವಿ ಟೇಕ್ ದ ಸ್ಪೆರಿಕಲ್ ಸರ್ಫೇಸ್, ಈ ಸ್ಪೆರಿಕಲ್ ಸರ್ಫೇಸನ್ನು ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಒಂದು ವೇಳೆ ಏನಾರ ಸ್ಪಿಯರ್ ತಯಾರು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದ ಆದ್ರೆ ವಾಪಸ್ ಆ ಸ್ಪೆರಿಕಲ್ ಸರ್ಫೇಸ್ ಆ ಸ್ಪಿಯರ್ದು ಸೆಂಟ್ರ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ತೈತಿ ಅಂತ ಅರ್ಥ. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಸೆಂಟರ್ ಆಫ್ ಕರ್ವೇಚರ್. Next is radius of curvature. The radius of a sphere of which the spherical mirror is a part. Another way you can define it as, it is the distance between pole and center of curvature. ನೋಡ್ರಿ, ಯಾವ ಗೋಳಾಕೃತಿಯ ಒಂದು ಭಾಗವಾಗಿದೆಯೋ ನಮ್ಮ ಸ್ಪೆರಿಕಲ್ ಸರ್ಫೇಸ್, or spherical surface is the part of a sphere, or spherical surface is a part of a sphere, then the radius of that sphere, whose part is our spherical surface, so that radius is called as radius of curvature of this spherical surface. ಅದನ್ನ ಮೆಜರ್ಮೆಂಟು ಹಿಂಗೂ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು, ಅಥವಾ ಮೆಜರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಯಾವ ಥರ ತಗೋಬೋದು, ಇದು ಸೆಂಟರ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಸ್ಪಿಯರ್, ಇದು ಮಿಡ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಪೋಲ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ತದೆ, ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಆನ್ ದ surface of the spherical mirror, point on the surface of the spherical mirror which is on the sphere. So C ದಿಂದ P ವರೆಗೂ ಇರುವಂತಹ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ r ಅಂತ ಕರಿಬಹುದು. ಫ್ರಮ್ ದ ಪೋಲ್ to the center of curvature the distance is known as radius of curvature. ಅಥವಾ ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿರುವಂತಹ ಸ್ಪೆರಿಕಲ್ ಸರ್ಫೇಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಇಟ್ಟುಕೊಂಡು ನಾವೇನಾರ ಒಂದು ಸ್ಪಿಯರ್ ಕನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿರುವಂತಹ ಸ್ಪೆರಿಕಲ್ ಸರ್ಫೇಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಇಟ್ಟುಕೊಂಡು ಸ್ಪಿಯರ್ ಕನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಆ ಸ್ಪಿಯರ್ದ ರೇಡಿಯಸ್ ಎಷ್ಟಿರ್ತೈತಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ r. Now that r is called as radius of curvature of this spherical surface. It means we can construct a sphere of radius r using that spherical surface. It can be measured from it can be measured as the distance from pole to center of curvature. Principal axis. So it is the line joining the pole and the center of curvature. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ pole ಅದ, ಈ center of curvature ಅದ, ಇದನ್ನು ಜಾಯಿನ್ ಮಾಡುವಂಥ ಲೈನ್ ಅನ್ನು ಏನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ ನಾವು? ಉದ್ದಕ ಪ್ರಿನ್ಸಿಪಲ್ ಆಕ್ಸಿಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಪ್ರಿನ್ಸಿಪಲ್ ಆಕ್ಸಿಸ್ ಅನ್ನ, so this principal axis is always perpendicular to the mirror, perpendicular to the area of the ಮಿರರ್. ನೀವು ಅದನ್ನು ಯಾವ ಥರ ವಿಜುವಲೈಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬಹುದು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ಅಂಬ್ರೆಲ್ಲಾ ಓಪನ್ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಅದನ್ನು ಹಾರಿಜಾಂಟಲಿ ಹಿಡಿದ್ರಿ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ಅಂಬ್ರೆಲ್ಲಾ ಓಪನ್ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಅದನ್ನು ಹಾರಿಜಾಂಟಲಿ ಹಿಡಿದ್ರಿ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಒಳಗಿಂದ ಏನು ಏರಿಯಾ ಆಫ್ ದ ಅಂಬ್ರೆಲ್ಲಾ ಇರ್ತೈತಲ್ಲ, ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಸಿಮಿಲರ್ ಟು ದ ಅಪರ್ಚರ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಮಿರರ್. ದೆನ್ ದ ಹೋಲ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಸ್ಟಿಕ್ is perpendicular to the area of the umbrella so that you can compare with the principal axis. Paraxial rays. So the rays of light parallel to the principal axis are called paraxial rays. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇದು ಪ್ರಿನ್ಸಿಪಲ್ ಆಕ್ಸಿಸ್ ಆಯ್ತು. ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಪ್ಯಾರಲಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಬೀಳುವಂತಹ ಲೈಟ್ ರೇಸನ್ನ, ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಪ್ಯಾರಲಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಬರುವಂತಹ ಲೈಟ್ ರೇಸನ್ನ ನಾವೇನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ? ಪ್ಯಾರಾಕ್ಸಿಯಲ್ ರೇಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ರೆಗ್ಯುಲರ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಇತ್ತು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಆ ಮಿರರ್ ಹೆಂಗಿರ್ತೈತಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ತಂದು ತೋರಿಸ್ತಿದ್ವಿ. ಬಟ್ ಈಗ ಆನ್ಲೈನ್ ಇರೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಪಾಸಿಬಲ್ ಟು ಶೋ ಯು ಹೌ ದ ಮಿರರ್ಸ್ ಲುಕ್, ದ ಕರ್ವ್ಡ್ ಮಿರರ್ಸ್. So you can visualize it by taking the example of a watch glass. Watch glass is the example for spherical surface. If you paint its one surface, watch glass is a transparent, light passes through it. When you paint its one surface, it starts reflecting and becomes spherical mirror. As it is reflecting, it is a mirror. As the watch glass is a part of a sphere, it is called as spherical mirror. Now depending upon which side is painted, it can be categorized as concave and convex. If outer surface is painted, if this is a spherical surface, if outer surface is painted, then inner curved surface will reflect the light. Inner curved surface will reflect the light and it is called as concave mirror. If the inner surface itself is painted, then the outer surface reflects the light. Outer surface reflects the light. It is known as a convex mirror. Now we'll see how the concave and convex mirrors are there in the types of mirror. So this is part of a sphere, but in practice you don't have this much of curveness in the mirrors. A little bit they will be curved. So as this is a part of a sphere, using this, if you construct a sphere using this spherical surface, if you construct a sphere, here will be the center of that sphere, which is known as center of curvature of the spherical surface, center of curvature of this spherical surface. This is C. Here is the pole. Here is the pole. Here inside. That is the pole. Now the line joining center of curvature and pole. The line joining center of curvature and the pole is called as principal axis. Is called as principal axis. The distance between center of curvature and pole is called as radius of curvature. Radius of curvature. So this whole area inside the curved surface is called as aperture, available for interaction of light. So this line is the principal axis. Now we'll consider this spherical surface is coated outside so that its inner surface is available for the interaction of light, available for reflection of light. We'll consider the paraxial rays. Paraxial rays means rays parallel to the principal axis. So this is the ray which is parallel to the principal axis. This is another ray which is parallel to the principal axis. So these all are the rays which are parallel to the principal axis. Arrow mark shows the direction of the light. Arrow mark shows the direction of the light. So this ray hits the surface and the reflecting surface is in such a way that it reflects. The ray reflects in this particular direction. The first ray. Second ray hits the surface and reflects. Third ray reflects. Fourth ray reflects here. And the fifth ray reflects like this. Now you can see after reflection all these rays are meeting at a common point. After reflection all these rays are meeting at a common point. Now where that common point lies? It is on the principal axis. On the principal axis. So that point is called as principal focus. That point is called as principal focus. Now the distance between principal focus and pole of the mirror, principal focus and pole of the mirror is called as focal length. Is called as focal length, denoted by a letter small f. So here in this mirror, in the first mirror, you can see after reflection the rays are meeting. Actually they are meeting at a common point. So such mirror is called as concave mirror. A curved mirror. In a spherical mirror, there are two types. The first one is concave mirror, where the light rays after reflection meet at a common point. Now let us see the other type of a curved mirror or a spherical mirror, where the inner part is coated so that the outer surface is available. The outer surface is available for the interaction of light. So this becomes the pole. Now here we can complete the circle using this spherical surface. If we construct a sphere, here will be its center. So this point is called as center of curvature. The line joining pole and the center of curvature is called as radius. So the line which passes through pole and center of curvature is called as principal axis. Now we'll consider the paraxial rays, means rays parallel to the principal axis. First ray parallel to the principal axis, second, third and fourth. Now look at the shape of the reflecting surface. Shape of the reflecting surface. It is in such a way that after reflection, no ray is going to meet the other one. The first ray, it is hitting the surface and reflects like this. Second ray reflects. Third ray reflects. Fourth one reflects like this. Fifth ray reflects like this. Now look at these reflected rays. All are moving apart from each other. They are diverging. They are diverging. They never meet at all. They are never meet at all. Look at the first diagram. After reflection, they all met. In such a way, they were reflected. But in the second mirror, the reflected rays never meet each other. They are diverging from one another. But look at the direction of reflection. Look at the direction of reflection. So this is the direction of reflection of first ray. You have to extrapolate it in the backward direction. The direction of the reflection of second ray, extrapolate it in the backward direction. This is the third ray, extrapolate it in the backward direction. Fourth ray. So when you extrapolate the direction of the reflection in the backward direction, you can see that their direction of reflection when they are extrapolated in the backward direction, they appear as if they have emerged from a common point. ಅಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಬರಾಕತ್ತಾವೇನೋ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕೂಡಿ ಒಂದ ಸರಿಗೆ ಈ ಥರ ಬರಾಕತ್ತಾವೇನೋ ಅಂತ ಅನಿಸ್ತದ ಆ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್. Actually, light rays are not coming from this point, but how their direction of reflection is, they appear as if they are emerging from a common point. As if they are emerging from a common point. So that common point, where that common point is? That common point is also on the principal axis. So that common point is called as principal focus. So in case of this mirror, the rays are not actually meeting. So this mirror is called as convex mirror. Convex mirror. Here in case of convex mirror, after reflection, the rays never meet actually, but they appear as if they are emerging from a common point. Hang anistavu as if they are emerging from a common point. So that common point is called as principal focus. The distance between pole and principal focus is called as focal length of the mirror. So this is a diagram, 3D diagram, but usually in a textbook a two-dimensional diagram will be given. So this is the concave mirror, where the outer surface of the mirror is coated, so the inner surface of the mirror is reflecting. The paraxial rays parallel to the principal axis are incident on the mirror. After reflection, they meet at a common point. So this is the first ray, second ray, third ray. So when you consider, they meet at a common point. That common point is on the principal axis. So this is the concave mirror. Convex means the outer surface of the mirror is reflecting. Incident ray, reflected ray. This is the incident ray and reflected ray. So the reflected ray never meet each other, but they appear as if they are coming from a common point. So that is nothing but the focal point in case of convex mirror. These are also called as converging mirror and diverging mirror. So principal focus. So the paraxial rays after reflection actually meet at a common point or appear to diverge from a common point on the principal axis. So that point is called as principal focus. The distance between pole and the principal focus of a spherical mirror is called as focal length, So this is all about the reflection, laws of reflection, and some terms related to spherical surface or spherical mirrors. If it reflects, it is called as mirror, spherical mirror.